What's up, family? It's your brother Jared. Welcome to the Mitchell Experience. And today we're going to take a look at the Anker Soundcore Liberty Airs. These are a set of true wireless earbuds that I picked up on Amazon for right around 80 bucks. These have also been getting a lot of positive reviews, so I wanted to naturally take an opportunity to pick these things up myself and really see how these things got to run for their money. Let's take a look at them. Let's go. So the Anker Soundcore Liberty Airs are another set of true wireless earbuds that are designed with the stem style, very similar to the Apple Airpods. These things get a lot of comparisons to them. But you know, they naturally have some differences to them. You know, you get the silicone ear tip, you get a slightly, different design. I personally like this design just a tad bit better. I'm not really a fan of the way AirPods look. That's all subjective, but the main thing that I really love about these things are the fact that they're black. And I happen to really be drawn towards darker colors, not something that's really bright sticking out of your ears. So like I said, I picked these things up on Amazon for right about 80 bucks. That tends to be the going price for these. I got a lot of positive reports on these when I was looking up on YouTube and the interwebs. So once again, I figured I'd pick these bad boys up for myself and really see, what they go for. Now, if you don't know, if you're new to my reviews, I tend to look at true wireless earbuds on a set of 5 criteria, right? We look at call quality, features, battery life, fit, and sound, and we compare them against the price to see what it's gonna be for a good overall package. So what I wanted to do was take these things through, the 5 steps and actually see how they compare. So let's start first and foremost with call quality. In a word, these things are okay, as far as call qualities are concerned. These things don't really advertise much other than what they say crystal clear calls. Now, I guess I'm gonna kind of come off that statement a little bit that they don't advertise much. They do advertise crystal clear calls. I have an issue with that statement when it comes to call quality for, one reason in particular. Compared to my Jabra Elite 65Ts, which I admit are about double the price, these things have a very airy sound to them. Right, the Jabras are really good as far as call quality is concerned because they do really well as far as using the additional microphones that are on the sides of those units, and they block out ambient noise. They block out the background noise, so it's really focusing on your voice. Unfortunately, these guys don't do that. Now, they do have the benefit of having the microphone that's down here that's pointed toward your mouth when you have these things in your ear, which is great. The downside being there's no additional microphones that I've been able to detect that is going to block out any sort of background noise or anything that's going on around you. So as such, these microphones on the bottom pick up everything. So when you're in a room, it picks up the fan noise, it picks up wind noise when you drive, and it picks up road noise when you drive, and it picks up steps when you're walking. I mean, it picks up everything. So as far as call quality is concerned, it doesn't really leave you with a lot of confidence that if you're in a loud environment that it's going to really give you that isolation for you to be able to hold a intimate conversation like you normally would, when you've got the phone up to your ear. Now, I'm really big on letting you guys see for yourself, so let's take a listen. All right, this is a microphone test for the Anker Soundcore Liberty Airs. We are currently walking through. We're right at about 15 feet away, turning around a corner, testing out for sound quality, seeing how well the microphone picks up, seeing whether or not the background noise is able to be picked up ambiently as I'm walking around. The sound is light compared to what would typically be in a walk around scenario. How well is it picking up? Now, as far as features are concerned, I gotta admit, these things are a pretty basic set of earbuds when it comes to features. They don't really advertise much. They do advertise IPX5, which in my book is plenty. I'm not a person who is going to use my earbuds near water. I'm not going to use them in the shower, in a pool, or anything like that. So I don't require that much, but your needs may vary. They are IPX5, which in my book, once again, if I'm having a sweaty workout at the gym and I'm really getting it in workout wise, I just need to know that the sweat coming from me is not really going to cause an issue. And in that respect, I can't really complain. They also advertise graphene drivers for sound, so we'll talk about that here in a bit. And they also offer, 5 hours on the earbud and 20 hours total listening time. So that'd be 5 hours on the earbud and another 15 hours on the case. You know, I question that. I question whether or not that actually lives up to it with the full 20 hours because, you know, the case in and of itself seems to drain a little bit quicker than I was expecting. But as far as the earbuds are concerned, I haven't really had any issues as far as that piece is concerned. You know, I put these things in and I've been able to keep these things in my ear for quite a bit of time. I've been actually very, very happy with the earbuds on these. Now, once again, I am the type that every time I take my earbuds out of my ear, they're going right back into the case. So I'm gauging the total performance based on, one, how comfortable are these and how likely am I to keep these in my ear? And do they give me issues while they're in my ear? But two, how quickly does the case drain? And if the case is draining quick, you know, that's kind of going to give me my real indication of how this is going to work. Now, I haven't really had any issues on these. The most that I've kept these things in my ear has been right about 3 hours, give or take. You know, but it's never really posed an issue for me as far as battery is concerned. Where there has been a bit of issue has been when it comes to fit. And it's not that they're not comfortable. These are actually a really comfortable set of earbuds. Where I run into problem is the fact that based on the material that this thing is made out of, these ear tips are made out of, I can't get them to stay in my ear during high activity sessions. And I have a problem with that because most of the time that I'm going to be using these is either going to be A, in the office when I'm sitting around trying to type up reports, or B, when I'm in the gym. And for whatever reason, this silicone that this ear tip is made out of, whenever I get warm, you know, I start to actually start sweating, these things slip out of my ear and there is nothing that I can do to try to get these things to stay in. Now, I thought I had a solution. You know, if you've been watching a couple of my videos, you guys may know that I do have a set of Comply ear tips, and I was able to fit the Comply ear tips onto these earbuds. The problem that I have with that is when I put the Comply ear tips in, because this thing is designed specifically to work with these particular earbuds, the Comply ear tips stick out to about here, meaning that I have to try to force them in to try to push them into the case, and they cause this whole thing to stay open and not really seal the way it's supposed to. Naturally, for me, that makes me uncomfortable if I'm going to put these things in my pocket, knowing that the Comply ear tips don't allow this thing to close all the way. And, you know, with the Comply ear tips, I got to say, I was actually really, really happy with these. I don't have another set of earbuds or another set of foam. I do have another set of foam ear tips that I tried with these, and they were even bigger than the Comply ear tips, so they didn't really work for me in that respect. But that posed to be a problem because, once again, with being in the gym being one of my main use cases, if these things won't stay in my ear, that's kind of a problem. Another thing that this thing has an issue with is the fact that, you know, this thing advertises touch control where you tap to play and pause and you tap to answer phone calls and all of that stuff. It does have phone calls in both ear, which is great, but the touch controls is really, really, really finicky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, you know, just by taking the thing out of your ear, you're touching the touch controls, which causes the whole thing to get wonky. And, you know, I wasn't a fan of the touch controls overall. Which takes me to sound, which was kind of a mixed bag for me. I enjoyed the sound quality on this. Bass was a little bit light, you know, a little bit lighter than I like, but it was there. You know, it was easily able to pick up. You know, mids were good, highs were okay. I mean, the sound quality overall was pretty balanced, so I don't really have any complaints as far as the way it sounds. But my main complaint with these guys is that I just did not feel like they got loud enough. You know, when I compare these against, you know, a set like the TrebLab X5s or the Maven Air X's, these things just didn't get loud enough. They, you know, and I gotta admit, if I didn't have those sets of earbuds to compare these to, probably wouldn't be an issue for me. But the fact that I do, the fact that I can, you know, I can reach in my bag and I can grab my TrebLabs, or I can reach in my bag and I can grab my Mavens that I haven't gone back yet. You know, that gives this thing a pretty high bar, but that's not even really the biggest issue for me. I mean, I can live with the sound quality on them because, like I said, once I put the Comply ear tips on these guys, I was actually really happy overall with the way they sounded. Where I ran into a problem was just the fit. And that was such a shame for me, because I felt like if I was able to get an excellent fit on these, if I was able to get these things to a position where they would stay in my ear comfortably, and I was able to fit them back in the case, no issue, you know, then these things would have been a major, major go for me, in the words of Flossie Carter. But, you know, I gotta be honest, Maybe you're not in that situation. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you're not an active person. Maybe you are a person that just wants to put these in your ear while you go for a walk. Maybe you're just a person who likes to listen to music lounging around the house. In that case, I gotta admit, these things were actually really nice. And I really enjoyed these for what they were. I enjoyed these for, listening to audiobooks. I enjoyed these sitting around the office. I enjoyed these, just listening to music casually. I just don't enjoy these for being active. And because I'm looking for a multi-purpose solution, I'm looking for a solution that is gonna be versatile across the board, that's gonna be comfortable to stay in my ear, it's gonna give me good battery life, give me good fit, and allow me to be active. These things, unfortunately, did not fit the bill. But I still wouldn't hesitate to recommend this to somebody, like my wife, who just uses earbuds while she's cooking or, while she's doing chores around the house and things like that. These would be great for a person who is, not quite a fan of AirPods for whatever reason. Maybe they don't like the way AirPods feel, but they don't really have a problem with the way they look. Or if they're an Android user and they're looking for something that's a little bit more full featured, or you're just not looking to spend $150 or $160 that AirPods cost. If that's you, generally speaking, I think you'll be pretty happy with these guys. Like I said, I overall don't have any complaints, but the main thing for me being fit kind of take these things out of the running for me, and the fact that I can't put the ear tips on there kind of, really is a disappointment in an overall really good set of earbuds. That's where I stand. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And, I'll be down below responding to you guys for as long as I can. And I'll see you on the flip. Peace.